Shalom, shalom Israel. First and foremost, I want to give all honor, glory, and praises to YAHAWAH, Ba'ashem YAHAWASHI, Ba'ashem YAHAWADAH. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, and shalom to the mighty Akim and Akwaf out there who are diligently waiting to be delivered from its final captivity. And today's topic is going to be entitled Media Witchcraft. Okay, so now what inspired me to do this is but Eve specifically is so fixated on this whole Meghan Markle business, where they think that she's an Israelite, and they think that she's a so-called black woman or an Israelite, okay, and then they're just, I guess, always in her business, always trying to look at any news about her, okay, and people are making a whole bunch of news about the most trivial stuff. Slakia. Now with that, I also want to go into how a lot of times these articles, articles are basically a distraction. Okay, when there's a topic, they let me get this as well. The Will Smith. This was also a distraction as well. Okay, all this was just one big distraction that got I guess the big majority of the world to hear about it, and then and this was all while the war in Ukraine was going on. Okay, now in addition to that, there's also the fact that, like I was saying, that a lot of Eves are fixated on this Meghan Markle thing, thinking that she's okay. If you look at her at this, dang it. Her mother is the so-called black woman, while her father is the so-called white person, or he is an Edomite. Okay, so you have a bunch of Eves that are fixated and just caring all about an Edomite woman. Okay, an Edomite woman's life, which is literally unimportant. I the appeal of whatever that family has to go through and whatnot. It's really unimportant, honestly. Okay, and again, like I said, it's all made to be a distraction. Okay, they always have these weird, what's the word, events that take people's attention off of the things that are actually happening in the world right now, such as the war in Ukraine. Okay, not much people really care about it. Okay, they're not understanding that prophecy is being revealed. Okay, and we're getting closer and closer to the end. All right, but they're not aware of the times, and that's what these these insignificant events are, like Will Smith smacking Chris Rock and this woman doing literally anything. All right, so with that, that's why the Most High, or the scripture and / the scriptures refer to Israel as sheep. Okay, because a sheep needs to be led. They need to be told. They need to be guided into knowing what to do how do they need to be led. All right. So now let's look at Matthew chapter 10 verse 6. But go rather to the lost sheep of the house of Israel. Now the lost sheep, Israel is a lost sheep. Okay, or not the 2/3. As of right now, those that are the Israelites that are not in this truth right now, they are the lost sheep that need to be brought back into this truth, brought back to their heritage. Okay, but and again, it's lost sheep, and we we are very impressionable, okay? So a lot of times we need to be guided to do stuff, guided to what's right and what's wrong, and that's why we have to follow after the Most High. And this is, this whole Meghan Markle, whatever, as an example, as well as Will Smith or anything in general, it's all a ploy to distract our attention away from the things that are actually important. Like, for example, if there's a war in Ukraine going on, right now you should be worried about when is America going to get involved? Okay, when is all these other countries going to get involved, and stuff starts hitting the fan? Okay, because it's not a playground. This is some serious stuff, and they're actually fighting. All right. 2 Chronicles chapter 18 verse 16. Then he said, I did see all Israel scattered upon the mountains as sheep that have no shepherd. And the Most High said, these have no master, let them return therefore every man to his house in peace. So firstly, I did see all Israel scattered upon the mountains as sheep that have no shepherd. So now, as of right now, those that are not in this truth, okay, sheep with no shepherd, okay? So if you're an Israelite and you don't have a shepherd, or slakia, if you're a sheep that doesn't, we are all sheep, but if you're a sheep that has no shepherd, then you're going to look for anything to guide you, okay? And in this case, that's a lot of the people that are being guided to just look to Esau's death style, because it's not a lifestyle, it's a death style. It's going to lead them to death. All right. So, that's Esau trying to be a shepherd and lead Israelites astray. Okay, while we try to, like it says in Matthew 10:6, to go to the lost sheep of the house of Israel. Okay, the prophets need to go and reach the lost sheep of the house of Israel, because we don't want them to the wolf, okay, the wolf, which is metaphorically Esau, all right, or we don't want them to be led into the clutches of Satan, all right. And again, this is all media witchcraft, okay, witchcraft. 2 Corinthians chapter 2 verse 11, lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his we need to understand, okay. And in addition to that, I also want to share a couple of things I learned actually when I was going into college. They taught me how to grab people's attention. I learned how to do it when I'm writing essays, what to jingles and whatnot. These jingles, these things, anything that is able to catch someone's attention, and then you make them get invested in it. Okay, it's trying to find some, in the case of the Meghan Markle thing, try to find something that you can relate to, and then you get so invested into it, you put all your time into it. Like, okay, like, oh yeah, I wonder what's gonna happen next. Oh, this, I'm excited and all that. Okay, but back to the actual thing that I said in the attention grabbers. There are jingles which I spoke about in another video, like the 800-588-2300 Empire. Like, I have that memorized. That's never going to leave my head until I get my YAHAWADAH, I get my new spiritual body, and that is wiped from my memory. But like, as of right now, in this fleshly body, I will probably never forget that, because that's that witchcraft. They try to make people remember things. Okay, they have something that's easy to remember, catchy, and is appealing in some way, shape, or form. Okay, and another thing is, for example, let's say, oh, perfect. This is a perfect example. This article from USA Today. Sharon Osbourne. Okay, so already this is the first piece of witchcraft that they use. Okay, names. Okay, big famous people's names. Okay, and then a quote. Okay, this like some sort of shock factor. So if you know about Meghan Markle and you know that she claims to be black, okay, then you hearing this said, what? How could she say that? Oh my God, what is this? I have to go hear more about what she was talking about. Okay, and then the final nail in the coffin. Here's why she's wrong. So it doesn't. This is just the title, the intro to it. They want you to click on that link. They want you to go in. Why is she wrong? Because it doesn't show all the examples, or it's like it doesn't show why she is wrong, or it doesn't show any like reason or context to it. It just shows, hey, this clickbait. That's basically clickbait, essentially, and that, and then that was what leads them into doing / being invested into something. All right, now let me get some more of my things out. Yeah. So yeah, that's the first thing. Okay, next thing, the next one I want to bring out is what was it? Oh, okay, Slovakia. So the next thing is using certain words in order to make someone feel a type of way. Okay, emotional manipulation. Okay, or well, yeah, I'll just go into emotional manipulation. Okay, so they try to say certain words like, oh my, I guess not in this, damn it, not in this necessarily, but they would say stuff like, oh, damn it, they would say stuff like, harm, what's it called? Sharon hurts. Sharon, what's the word? What's that one word? Frick. Inconsiderately speaks out on Meghan Markle. So the word, when using the word inconsiderately in front of what she, in using the adjective inconsiderately, the negative adjective in front of the verb of what she factually did. Okay, it manipulates the reader into thinking, oh my God, Sharon's so mean, she did X, Y, and Z. Okay, she had malicious intent behind it. And this is also another thing that they would do. I tried searching for more. I did hear it one time before. I believe it was for George Floyd. They were talking about his past, how he was I think in a porno, and then he was also he had criminal charges of unpaid child support. So they mentioned that in order to take away the what's the word, make the people that are listening to the story not feel sorry for him, even though he was killed unrighteously or unjustly. All right. So again, that's a more what's the word, emotional manipulation. Okay. So when it's an Edomite that did something that's involved with something, then they will say, oh my God, poor them, poor this, poor that. Okay, even though they could literally kill a baby, and then they will still sometimes say or try to get the people to feel sorry for him. Oh, such a tragedy that happened. And so that's honestly, you need to look out for stuff like that. If you hear an adjective, usually when you hear an adjective in front of, like I said, an event, all right, then that's what they're trying to make you feel for the alleged victim. Okay, or the victim, while trying to condemn the aggressor. All right. Now, I also learned that in not language art, whatever is the English thing. It was a class about trying to differentiate between fake news and whatnot. So yeah, that's a very, very helpful class. Yeah, they were saying that there was when they speak about police killing so-called black people, they will say stuff like the police shot and killed ex so-called black man, but so-called black man had did X, Y, and Z prior to this event happening. So like, and that's another way besides adjective to describe an event to make people feel sorry or make people feel a certain way. They will try to dig up dirt on the Israelite victim in order to make it seem that, oh, it's not that, no one should care because he was a criminal or whatnot. That's more emotional manipulation besides just having an adjective. Okay, so there's different ways to do it. And you have to be aware of doing that. But if you're in the truth, usually you don't really it really shouldn't affect you. But it's good to know and have the knowledge of that. Okay. Now, finally, the last one I wanted to talk about there is making you think what's important. Okay. So now this is a very big one. Okay, because this is what I heard. I was listening to someone listen to more of that whole Meghan Markle crap, and in the article or in the video or whatever that they were talking, the person said, so unless you've been living under a rock, you should know that Meghan X, Y, and Z. Okay, that's literally what they said. Well, not literally, but they literally said, unless you've been living under a rock, meaning that you should know about this. Okay, so this should be on the top of your priority list of things to know. Okay, so again, that's another form of manipulation, as well as overall this is media witchcraft. Okay, so if you just heard that and you feel like, oh, I'm not in the know, I don't know this, let me go take time out of my day and read up and study and whatever to be prepared and know all this knowledge and whatnot. So again, that is furthering, trying to make them be familiar with that whole with the topic that they want you to be familiar with. But if it's about like the war or whatever, then it really isn't that much of a deal. Okay. Twitter. Well, this is not really the best example, but over here in it's not a good example. So Slovakia, my bad. That is more so. That's more so accustomed to what your interests are, and anytime I look at trending, I do always click on the whole Ukraine stuff. So that's not a really good example. But that's at the end of the day. Like I said, the main ones are emotional manipulations. The first one is adding an adjective to an event such as tragic or justifiable or whatever, depending on the victim, as well as digging up dirt on the Israelite victim in order to make the viewer not feel sorry for their actual tragic death. Okay, but at the end of the day, it's not really that tragic because that's the Most High delivering judgment to that person. And then finally, making you think what's important, meaning when they say stuff like unless you've been living under a rock, or you should be familiar with by now, especially if it's like your first time, hearing about stuff. Like if you just stumbled randomly across a video and you hear someone saying that, then that just makes you think, oh, I need to go, familiarize myself with all this stuff. Okay. So, yeah, we're done with that. Again, this is all tricks that Satan uses, and again, that's actually pretty. To be, in my opinion, speaking as a man, I think it's pretty crazy that they literally teach you that in college. Like I learned that in college. Like I was very surprised that they just went and like anyone could like just go and learn this, and they actually like broke it down and whatnot. Pretty amazing that they're just handing out their secrets. And yeah, finally, just Jeremiah 15:17. Israel is a scattered sheep. The lions have driven him away. The king of Assyria hath devoured him, and last this Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, hath broken his bones. But yeah, the main thing is Israel is the scattered sheep. The lions have driven him away. That's the lions in this context are the Babylonians, or the Edomites, or the tares, which are there just to lead, like we said, gather the lost sheep of the house of Israel in order to return them to the Most High. But there are lions that lead them away with stuff like this media stuff, okay? Media distractions and whatnot. Chris Rock and Will Smith, Meghan Markle, and literally anything and everything that you get that distracts you from what's it called, the war and all these prophecies that are coming to pass. All right. So in conclusion, you need to be on the lookout for all the prophecies. You can't let these events take up all your time and just be like, okay, like this is your main focus. You can't let that happen. You need to prioritize. Know what your priorities are. All right. And with that, I hope this lesson was edifying. I want to give all honor, glory, and praises to YAHAWAH, BASHIM, YAHAWASHI, BASHIM, RICANS, double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. And with that, I want to say Shalom.